Hey Dale, it's Evan. So let me give you a breakdown of how the journals work. So our first iteration of the Onramp journal was this one we made for Reebok CrossFit One, and theirs was using our durable cover and binding, and had everything broken down by day. So day one they would cover your abbreviations, your nutrition, your push-ups, your squats. Day two you would cover your front squat, your kettlebell swing. What I'm envisioning for the new prototype is one that is not the binding, it's actually stapled. The cover is not our heavy duty cover. The sample you got. It's this. This is the old cover. It's pretty much unbreakable. This new cover would tear fairly easily. You could probably tear it with your thumbs. But then you're not looking for it to last forever. You're just looking for it to get your people through those 5 or 6 weeks of on ramp, or six to 12 days of on ramp. And then on the inside, you have nutrition recipes. You would have various days for tracking your wads, and you would have all the same movements that you find in the original on ramp stuff, but really gearing the journal towards the manual, the on ramp manual, towards the person who's walking in the door who needs a foundation in nutrition, a foundation in mobility, and then movement diagrams as a reference for what they're learning in the classes, so that when they go home, they're able to rehash what they learned, and if they know what is coming in the next day in day three, the coach says in day three, look in your journals, we're going to be covering front squat, and try and figure out what the basic points performance is, so that when we come into class, you don't have to go over all the basics, or you don't have to rehash the basics 3 or 4 times. It's just once or twice for them to start understanding what it means to put their knees out, what it means to keep their chest up, and all those kind of things. We're trying to incorporate that kind of information into the journal, so that it's a super helpful um, addendum to what you're teaching in classes, that they can go home and review it, that they can review it in class, to the point that the coach can point at the overhead to the thruster and say, okay, right here you have the hips below parallel, you thrust forward, and then the bar comes over your head like in a press. And then they would be able to demonstrate that in front of them. The person would be able to reference back to the journal and so forth. That way, when they get into classes, they not only have the brief introduction that you give it in the on-ramp session, a 15-minute introduction for movement, they also have as much review time with the journal as necessary. And then we're trying to build out the website side of that, so that they can check the link at the bottom of the page, which is not here yet, but they can check the link at the bottom of the page and go to the website and say, oh, that's what that looks like. That's what that looks like. That's a good example of this. That's good form on this. Let me see if I can try and emulate that. So in brief, um, the journals are a little bit less durable. The on-ramp manuals are going to be a little bit less durable than what you have, but for that reason, the price point is going to be around $4 or $5 as opposed to 14 and $15 per journal, and which makes it a lot easier to justify, as far as I'm going to hand out this $5 piece of information kit that's going to be really helpful for my coaches and for my members, as opposed to I need to really consider making a $15, $20 investment per athlete that walks in the door. So let me know what you think about how this on-ramp manual might work in your program, um, and how we can customize it for what you need. The other thing is, if you wanted to set it up like Reebok CrossFit One, where you have day one, blah blah blah, day two, blah blah blah, day three, blah blah blah, then we can do that. The way I'm setting it up now is you have all the information grouped together, all the nutrition grouped together, all the mobility grouped together, all the movements grouped together, so that um, it's easier for me to make more of a generic version. Anyway, let me know what you think. I look forward to seeing your email, or give me a call at 206 371 6947.